we go. Never too sure when this begins, but I think it's beginning right now. It is. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Emerge Gallery. My name is Robert Langdon, and I am, well, I guess I'm Emerge Gallery. It's a little bit of a rainy, started off as a snowy Sunday here in Socrates. And right now it is. Hi, everyone. Hold on. Welcome to feedback here that I need to take care of. My name is Robert Langdon, and I am, well, I guess I'm great. Here we go. Okay. So we are here at the Petite Exhibition, which is a yearly exhibition, usually around this time of year in November. It's smaller sized art. It's a perfect opportunity for giving gifts. A gift of art is a gift of the heart. I'm also, you know, a lot of people have been ordering online, so I am offering free shipping in the continental United States for any of the work that's in the Petite show. So there are close to 90 artists in the show. There's a good number here in the gallery. Each artist is represented in the gallery here, and then there's some supplemental works on artsy.net. All of my shows are on artsy.net. Look for Emerge Gallery NY. All of the shows are archived there, and the current shows are listed as well. So I'm going to do just a quick little tour through the gallery to show you sort of how it looks. It came together really nicely. One of my favorite things about putting the shows together is hanging the shows. And I surround myself with the art, and you know, I let the work speak to me and make the connections. And this was a super exciting show to do because there's so many diverse pieces, and but they all work so well together. Also, we've got some items here on the tables from some local artists. We've got some small abstract works from Kate Masters and Lynn McCreary. We've got some pottery from Amy Schnitzer and Andrea Wolcott Perez. I've got some small collages from Carmen Berry, some oils from Linda Linton. I've got these wonderful Christmas trees made out of recycled saris by an artist in New Jersey named Susan Pinto. A couple little handbags made out of handmade out of resin. Shelley Davis this year has some of her perfume bottles, vintage perfume bottles that have been hand painted. Okay, so it is a time of gift giving, and small art is a perfect gift to give. So let's have a look at Petit. As I mentioned, the show is up on artsy.net, and that's how we're going to take a look at it. Let me bring that up so you can all see what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is the Artsy page.
I can't see it.
And on the Artsy page, you will see it is Emerge Gallery. We got our Petite show right up front. And then you can also see some of the archive shows as well, past exhibitions. I've got some online exclusives you can look at through the artists. But if you do go into the Petite show, as we're going to do right now, there's a couple ways you can look at the show. It is listed alphabetically by artist. So you can scroll through and see each piece listed, click on each piece, and that will bring you, give you more information about each. We also have this, this nifty little viewing room that they had put together for galleries to do. This is broken into two parts. So this is artists A through H, I believe. So this is a different format to view the show. It will give you, here we go, view all the works. It will give you some larger images of the work. If there's multiple images, it will show up there as well. And if there is any information about the art, that will show up there too. That's just a little background information. So let's jump into the art. I'm being joined by a handful of artists here who I'm going to give most of the time to the artists, and I'm going to present the works for the artists that couldn't make it. Okay, so our first piece is by Gail Albert. This is called Quiet. Gail is an artist in, where is Gail? Hold on, I'm sorry. Gail is an artist in Woodstock. This is called Quiet. It's a limited edition archival digital print. It's 2 out of 10. And what Gail says about this piece is Quiet was taken in the bog that sits behind some woods at the end of my long backyard in Woodstock, New York. About 3/4 of an acre, the bog is wild, primeval, mysterious, even on a casual visit. It has become my refuge in the course of this pandemic, for it is silent and self-contained, a world apart from the chaos outside. So that is by Gail Albert. The next piece is a wonderful piece by Wayne Alfano. Wayne is an artist in New Jersey. This is called Shroom Lake, and it's oil on panel. Next piece, we've got 2 pieces by Eric Angelo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I don't think Eric is here, though. This is called G-String. It is an oil piece on paper, and Eric did write something about the work that I do want to read to you. It's an oil painting on paper depicting a guitar string discarded by his son Ian. He taped it to his studio wall and painted the picture directly from life. As most of his work is painted from memory or his imagination, this was a departure for him. This painting employs a very limited palette consisting of no more than 6 colors. So this is G-String, and the second one that Eric has in the show is called Dryads. And this again is an oil piece. This one's on canvas, and this is made with 6 colors as well. The next piece is by Debbie Auer Breitbart. This is called The Polar Bear King. I don't think, Debbie, you're in here, are you? No, okay. So this is called The Polar Bear King. It is an acrylic. And Debbie, this is acrylic on canvas from 2021. It's a new piece, and this piece was inspired by the Norwegian fairy tale, The White Bear King, Vermilion, or the Polar Bear King. The king is all bluster and fairy, but the child gives wisdom counsel. She is shown unafraid, standing up to his fury. It's 11 by 14 on stretch canvas. The second piece by Debbie is called Asinia's Lullaby. And this also is based on a fairy tale. It's a taken on the origin myth from Turkey. The wolf is a very important symbol within the culture as well as in others. The mighty Asina rescues the lone survivor of the village massacre, a small boy child. In the painting, she is cradling the child close to her. The artist wanted the colors to be soothing and to take a wild animal and show maternal instincts. It was a joy to paint an illustration of this myth. I have 2 pieces here from Golnar Babayeva. This is called The Vessel of Rebirth. It looks like it's bronze, but it's actually ceramic. It's a really wonderful piece. It's part of her revival series. It's a contemplation on endings and beginnings. As human beings, we try to avoid and fear endings, and she is no exception. Being that vessel, we also have the choice to decide to end that which is depleting and start anew. That is Vessel of Rebirth. Golnar lives in Rosendale. And this is the second piece. This is called Remembering. This is ceramic as well. Jay Ballesteros. Jay, I thought I saw you here. No? Did you? Yeah, great.
Yes,
all right.
hi.
I am going to turn this over to Jay. And come on, Jay, tell us about, Jay has 2 photographs in the show. So tell us about this first one, Jay.
Oh, great. Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Jay Ballesteros, a graphic designer and photographer based in Saugerties, New York. I used to live in Manhattan, and the first piece I'd like to talk about today, this one is what I like to call a digital mixed media piece. And this is called Winter Morning in Midtown Manhattan. And this was a photo that was taken earlier this year. I believe it was either February or March. And this would have been usually rush hour. But at this time, a lot of people were still working from home. And I was really struck of just this stark, empty scene. But the sunrise was giving a really pretty glow in the area. And I just like that juxtaposition. So originally, this starts off as a photo, but then I take it into several different software programs, and I kind of work it to have almost kind of that painterly look to it.
Let me bring up the second piece, Jay.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay. The second piece is called The Dark Hedges, Northern Ireland. This is really gorgeous, this piece.
Oh, thank you.
Never been to Ireland, but this makes me want to go to Ireland if it's, you know, it's
yeah, such a beautiful country. And it was actually like the last place I visited before everything was shut down. This was also in the winter of 2019. And it was my first time up there. And it's a very popular area, it's known as the Dark Hedges. If there's any fans of Game of Thrones, you might recognize this in one of the scenes. But a lot of photographers and a lot of movies and TV production uses this as a backdrop. So this was in the wintertime. And it was also taken, I remember I wanted to take this as a reminder to travel more. But unfortunately, plans were changed. And at this time, I was living my travel experiences through my photography. This one is also another digital mixed media piece. I started off with a photo image, and then I took it through several software programs, again, to give it that painterly effect.
It's really beautiful, Jay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and the colors, especially in the grounding, is really stunning. Well, thanks so much, Jay. Good to see you.
It was great to see you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You got it. All right. Next, we have some pieces by Lowell Barr. Lowell's an artist here in Saugerties, and she has a wonderful series of cloud paintings on small panel. So this is the first called Clouds Over Cape Cod. These are oil on panel. The second is called Clouds Over the Sea, and they're both 6 by 6. I'm going to be having a few more of the pieces from the Cloud series, and also some smaller works of some oil works of Lowell's at the gallery here very shortly. So keep your eye out for that. Harriet Foreman Barrett. Harriet, are you here?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Thank you, Robert, for having me as part of it. Sorry, I can't pull up my picture of me.
Okay. I see. Okay, let's see. All right. Please tell us about Strut, Harriet.
Well, first I'll read to you what I had originally written. It was about trust allows us to tap into the connectedness of all things, creating oneness, power, and solidity. The power of woman. The patina shows the solidity of the earth and the lightness she empowers as it reaches to her full height. The play on positive, negative space shifts and changes as one views her from different angles. It's bronze and glass. And my work is very intuitive. It's always about empowerment and hope, no matter what kind of times we're going through. So she, to me, is very uplifting and part of Earth, but part of all of that is.
Now, what about Masquerade? This is the second piece. This is the piece that's on Artsy.
Yeah, that's oil pastel on paper and framed. That is has dual meanings to me, and I love hearing other people's feedback on what they pick up on that. Her power, yet her hiding, her masks, all the dualities that are, you know, within this. And I'd love to explore hearing others, you know, what they feel about it.
All right. Next, I have two pieces by Lauren Bergman. This is called Geisha with Gas Mask. I'm sorry. No, Geisha with Gas. It's an acrylic litho coal and ink on torn paper, and it's mounted on board. It's 9 by 12. This is from 2019. And for this piece and the next piece, Lauren says, throughout history, every culture has had its own collective vision of a more perfect state of existence, termed as heaven, utopia, nirvana, the afterlife, and Mount Olympus, among other names. Images of these realms often have been romanticized versions of a society's earthly reality, incorporating glorified elements of everyday life. These paintings comment on our own cultural glorifications, as well as on how our political and cultural landscapes is shifting. So this is the first called Geisha with Gas. This is the second called.
I'm here.
Oh, you are here. Oh,
yeah.
Great. I would rather have you talk about him. Oh, please. I didn't see you come in.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me bring you up. Wave to me. Oh, I see you. Great. Okay, Lauren. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Please, yes, talk about both.
Okay, basically I started this series around the time of the 2016 election, feeling like the fabric of human society had been fundamentally torn. So I started tearing the surface of my substrates and working from there on just idealized images of the great elements of human creativity and culture, things that should carry on into the future of an idealized world. And the geisha is a symbol to me of just beauty and kind of a masked disguise of how we go into the world and how humans just, you know, decorate themselves and decorate cows and just the survivability and creativity of being human.
You said it much better than I did. Thank you. I'm so sorry about that.
No, absolutely.
I didn't see you coming. They're really beautiful pieces, and I really like the way the texture that is created in, especially with the geisha and the mask, with the torn paper. Really, just beautiful pieces. Thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate it. Okay, next we have Ed Berkey's Breakfast in New York. This is a fun little piece by Ed. Ed's a artist in Woodstock. It is marker and some collage. Christy Bishop. This is a piece called Saxton Falls by Christy. I don't think Christy's here. No. Christy lives here in Socrates. Saxton Falls. This is oil on wood. And then the second piece that Christy has in the show, I've got too many things open at once. The second piece that Christy has in the show is called Mermaid. This is iridescent acrylic on wood, and it's 12 by 13. Judy Stanger. Judy, I saw you come in. This is Truro Cottages, pastel on paper, and I'm going to bring you up, Judy, and welcome.
Thank you so much, Robert, and thank you for selecting this piece. Beautiful show.
I know it well. It's very familiar.
Thank you. Yeah, I've done a lot of these cottages, and this is yet another series that I did the third week of September. So this was day 2 of the Truro cottages that overlook the Provincetown Harbor. And that's pastel, and I work exclusively in pastel on site, on plein air. And then
tell us about this. Oh, tell us about the second one, Judy.
Sure.
Let me bring it back up. Okay. Water's Edge.
Hey, Water's Edge. Also, I did this year in Rockport. Been painting there for probably the past year, breaking into that rocky seashore and trying to break into that art scene. So that one's in Rockport. And I have 2 others that are on exhibit right now out in Beverly there.
Fantastic. Jude, I like your work a lot. I mean, I so connect with Cape Cod, and you know, a lot of the scenarios that you create, you know, especially in Provincetown, are really warming. So
thank you, Robert.
Well,
thank you.
Okay, I have 2 pieces by Randy Bloom. Randy is an artist in Germantown, New York. This is acrylic on paper. It's a small piece. And then the second piece I'm going to bring you to, because for some reason didn't see it. And this is the second piece here. This is called L&T, and this is acrylic on paper. All right. Natalie. Now, Natalie, I saw your email earlier. Are you here? Natalie Baburka, no? Okay, this is by Natalie Baburka. There's 2 pieces in the show by Natalie. This is called Tuesday Evening. It's acrylic and beach findings, 8 by 8. Both of these pieces are from a series of works with the initial plaster work done in Myrtle Beach using beach findings, which were added directly into the piece, as well as creating impressions. She completed the layers of paint much later in the year at home. So this is the first piece called Tuesday Evening, and this is the second piece called Tuesday. Lesley, I love this piece. This is fun. This is called Ho 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 Dior. Hi, Lesley.
Hi, Robert. Okay, I could talk about this. So I am a painter and sculptor, and I work in New York City and Houston, Texas. And I like to experiment with paint and materials. I love materials. So I was experimenting here with acrylic paints on a metallic sheet of paper. I like metallics. So here we have a metallic sheet of paper. And when this is held in the light, the colors change because of the metallic. And then I was pouring. I like to mix acrylic paint with different kinds of mediums like pour medium or tar gel. This one here is pour medium. And I have a very spontaneous result. I didn't know how this would result, and I wasn't headed toward a handbag. But once it was done, it's actually a little bit of collage there. I have a couple of pieces of sort of sculptural material glued onto the metallic paper. Like the large rectangle that's purple is actually a separate piece of sculptural material made of the acrylic paint and pour medium. And I glued it onto the paper. And then it looked like a handbag. And so I kind of modeled some of my pouring techniques after Linda Benglis, and she has a very funny one from the 70s where she's kind of going, hey, 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 Helen Frankenthaler. So she's referencing Helen Frankenthaler. So here I'm referencing the Dior bag and I'm saying, ho, 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 Dior. It's kind of a joke, but it all sort of came together. I didn't know where it was going.
Wonderful. This is a lot of fun, and this is a piece that, when you look at it, you're right, it does change color. It's got some really great sheen to it and some iridescence to it. This is definitely one that needs to be seen in person. If you're around, please come in and have a look. Tell me about the second piece, Serenity.
So the second piece is a work of metallic pigments mixed again with acrylic mediums on a small canvas. And this is when I was really into geometrics and metallic pigments. So I mixed the metallic pigments with the acrylic medium and kind of smeared it on the canvas. And it's a little bit hard to deal with. So different things happen, but then I created a grid based on tape. Then I taped the tape over the metallic pigments, and then I put more paint on top of it, and then I tore the tape off. So you've got taping going on here. When you tear off the tape, it leaves a line, so you have a grid, it leaves a design. And that's what's going on here. And it's very small because the metallic pigments are very messy to work with and they get all over. So I had to start very small. So I have a few of these. This is part of a series.
Yeah, there's another one that you have, I think called Night. Is it called Night Moves? A darker one? Yeah, sort of was almost like a
morning blues, and I have a few of them, maybe 4 or 5 different pigments, but they're all very small.
I hosted a really wonderful show with Lesley and Jay Youngdahl over the summer with some really fantastic work of mostly folding and some poured pieces, sculptural pieces. Was really, really pleased to have it, and it got some really fantastic feedback. There's information about on the website if you want to go have a look.
Yeah, those were big pieces of poured
paint
into sculptural material. So
yeah, that was definitely that I really enjoyed having them here, and people really enjoyed seeing them too. Thank you, Lesley.
Thank you.
Vian Borchet, is that how you pronounce it, Vian?
Yes, Vian Borchet. Yes, Vian Borchet. Yeah.
Oh, here you go. I think you're right up top.
Yeah.
I see you're waving, right? Great.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can, yes. Good to see you. Well, welcome. Vian has 2 people in the show. This is Brown and Blue. So, tell us about both.
So I have Brown and Blue, and the one next would be Misty Peach. And both paintings were done at the same time. So I'm a painter, and I'm an expressionist painter, and I work with abstracts, but I also have done many, many years ago figurative artwork. But mainly I do abstracts, and my abstracts are a form of visual poetry. That's the way I like to express myself. So with this work, I wanted my painterly quality or my painterly aesthetics to come forth, and for the brush strokes to also be apparent. So the hand of the artist for me is very essential in the work of art to be visible. So it's a form of identity in a way. It's like handwriting. So I kind of want that to come forth, but also I wanted the colors to be pleasing for the viewer to look at the artwork and to feel a sense of peace and rejuvenation. And also I'm a nature lover, so I wanted to incorporate nature somehow through the artwork, because for me, connecting to nature is one of my the utmost important thing for me in my life. So through nature, I attain moments of peace, moments of joy. So it's just a certain kind of euphoria, you can say, or zen that I personally feel when I'm surrounded by nature, and I'm observant of nature. So all the artwork, in a way, is kind of a reflection of who I am and of what I am, my identity, and what I present to the viewer through the artwork. So in a way, they kind of mirror what's inside of me, my aesthetics. And basically they're projecting to the world through my painterly touch. So I kind of wanted them to be not super realistic. So they are based on nature, but I wanted also to have my aesthetics, as I said, my sense of contemporary aesthetics, because I like more of the modern edgy look to come forth, but also to play a little bit with colors. And pretty much most of these two paintings are very muted when it comes to like more earth tones. And again, that's kind of reminiscent of nature and our connection as humans to nature, because we are from nature and we go back to nature. So the importance of nature in our lives. But that's kind of like the essence of these two paintings. And I wanted overall the composition to be pleasing when it comes to the colors and the strokes, the movement in a way, through the painterly quality as well. So the eyes would flow with the colors as well. And blue is one of my favorite colors, so I kind of incorporate that here and there. Again, that's part of who I am. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful show. All the artwork of the other artists is wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much. Your works have a real, I can definitely see the elements of nature in it. They definitely have a real landscape kind of quality to them. Right. They're really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, the next piece is by Christina Brady. I don't think Christina's here. Christina lives in Saugerties. Saugerties, yes. This is called Float. This is paper, ink, and caustic, oil stick, and gold foil. It's from 2021, and it's 6x8. Christina says, float, be the observer, action from the heart. The second piece is called Be Light. This piece is it's woodboard, watercolor, encaustic, and oil stick, created in 2020. It's 6x6, and it's Be Light, shine, carry love as your baggage. Susan Burlew. Is Susan here? I don't think so. Susan has two pieces in the show. Susan is a ceramic artist over in Kingston. This is a ceramic bowl. It's stoneware, stains, glaze, and luster. It's a non-functional piece, multi-fired stoneware decorated with glazes, stains, and gold luster. This one is as well. This is called wall shard, and this is a wall.
I am here.
Oh, you are here.
I am here.
Oh, there you are. I see you. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Susan.
You're right.
I keep messing up today. Missing people. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so these are, I work on slab, I work in clay exclusively, and I work out of slabs generally. And in this piece is just a single slab, but the texture is divided up for me. I work very intuitively on them. I start with a basic slab. I impart textures kind of abstractly to it, and then I look at it and tear it, and shape it into, a shape that works for me with the different textures. And I think a lot about kind of topography. I think, it's very earthy to me. The clay itself is very earthy, and I like to keep some very bare, earthy areas in all the pieces, contrasting with the bright, colorful glazes and lusters and things of that sort. So I think a lot about the earth when I'm doing these. A lot of the pieces, most of them tend to be fairly flat and not very tall, but like the first one, bowl, is a little bit more three-dimensional, and more of a grouping of slabs, that are all put together, to form the overall shape. And I've been working on this series for quite a while, and I'm not entirely, sure what everything means to me, but it is grown out of a love of the earth and archaeology, and examining these pieces, these pieces of clay, these slabs of clay, and finding things in them that I want to accentuate or bring out and contrast with other areas on the same piece until I have a composition and an item that, feels right to me, just feels like it's balanced and feels like it's, speaking something. And I'm not, I like to leave it up to people who look at them to, really see what they see in them and get out of
Susan,
it.
I have the bowl here. I just wanted to show
lot of
everybody.
different size.
It's really, really beautiful. I mean, the photograph only shows a small portion of it.
Yeah, and it is very in the round. So
yeah, and I really, really like the way that it's sort of pulled together. The texture inside is just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Susan. I'm sorry that I missed you, but I'm glad that you spoke up.
Yeah.
All right. Taylor Kasiki. Don't think Taylor's here. Taylor has two pieces in the show. This is called the Unattractive Truth. And I do have something here that Taylor had provided me with. Taylor's in Bayonne, New Jersey. This is watercolor pencil. I know this is ink and charcoal, I'm sorry. Embracing feelings. Some days just aren't that great. I can relate. The second piece is Just Listen. This is watercolor, watercolor pencil and gesso. His themes are mostly about mental health during uncertain times. Society lacks empathy with an unwillingness to listen. Many just wait their turn to speak rather than listen. So these are Taylor's works. Nancy Campbell. I don't think Nancy's here. Nancy is an artist here in Saugerties, and these are two small pieces from a white line woodblock print. This first one is called Sheets, and the second is called Bees and Coneflower. For the sheets, she says, I love hanging sheets on the line to dry. There's nothing like the smell of fresh line dried sheets when tucking myself into bed. I agree. It's still a little part of life I cherish in the village of Saugerties, where neighbors do the same. I've painted laundry in my backyard several times and find that this type of image lends itself nicely to the white line woodblock process. It forces simplicity. A non-toxic and low-tech printmaking medium, the colors are transparent watercolor, simply painted directly on the wood block and printed on rag paper rubbed on the reverse with a spoon. The second piece is called Bee and Coneflower, it's the same process. In my garden are many coneflowers. Bees love them. This type of image lends itself nicely to the white line block process as well. And this process is the same. So these are Nancy's. Nancy Cantandela. This is called Near Xena Road. I don't think Nancy's here. And again, if you are here, please speak up if I miss through you. Xena Road is here over in Woodstock. Nancy lives over in Kingston. This is a photo encaustic. And then the second piece of Nancy's as well is called Storm Clouds. This is photo encaustic as well. Amy Schnitzer. Amy actually did a pop-up here yesterday and brought up some really wonderful work from the city. Amy, are you here? No. These are stacking. This is a stacking jar. And as you can, it's got some crystalline inside and the jars stack up on themselves. I also have a few San Paulo burners here at the gallery and a couple small little vases of Amy's as well. Shelley Davis. I have two pieces from Shelley. Shelley lives in Malden, which is a little hamlet here in Saugerties. Shelley's been doing a series of vintage signs. This is Eat. It's a diner sign. And then the second one is called Nathan's Hot Dog, Coney Island. These are all acrylic. What Shelley says about these. She's developed a romance of late with nostalgic images from her childhood, old, decrepit, rusty signatures of a forgotten era. Tug at my artistic heartstrings. Eat belongs to an old diner, the kind that served home-cooked food made with pure ingredients. That's this one here. Made with pure ingredients, including generous amounts of love. Fast food was not fast at all in those days. It was warm, tasty, delicious, and eat is an appropriate name for that kind of diner and a good old-fashioned memory put to canvas. The second one, Coney Island. Coney Island, what child doesn't long for those hot summer days spent there, walking the boardwalk, eating cotton candy, going on the carousel, and finishing up with dinner at Nathan's famous hot dog stand. Yummy, down-to-earth hot dogs with mustard and sauerkraut. That's my kind of hot dog. Washed down with a Needix orange drink. Did I pronounce that correctly? Those were the days. And so I present a nostalgic and beloved memory from my childhood, Nathan's famous hot dog stand, Coney Island, New York. So this is Shelley Davis. Nancy, are you here?
I am.
You are, great.
Yeah.
Nancy DeFlon, here you go. Oh, they moved you up. All right, welcome Nancy. Nancy lives here in Saugerties.
And this is a photograph from a number of years ago. I'm a photographer. Sometimes I do some collages. And I started out really doing almost exclusively nature and scenics. And that's still my main body of work. But I've also gone into doing buildings because, well, I like to do buildings that in themselves or have historic value. But with the way things are changing these days, we're discovering I can photograph something 3 years ago and now it's an artifact because it's either gone or it's been totally changed and they put some ugly old vinyl over some lovely boards, or something like that. But this picture, I believe, is from 2015. I've really gone up to New Hampshire in the foliage season to immerse myself in the colors that are there. And this is from one of those trips. Haven't been for the last 2 years because of the pandemic. This trail is in a place called Sabaday Falls. If you're familiar with New Hampshire, the Kankamogus Highway, this is one of the trails off that, and it's always very, very crowded. So basically, this is the road that leads up to the falls. It's a beautiful, dramatic kind of a waterfall. And of course, everybody goes there to photograph the waterfalls, but thinking of many mentors that I've had in photography over the years, and they say, fine, get your picture, wonderful, do that. Now that you've done that, turn around and see what's behind you. You learn a lot because there's something behind you sometimes that may be even better than what you first did. Well, this is a variation on that. The falls weren't behind me, but they are on that trail, and people are just not photographing this sort of thing. And so this is what I did because just the colors are so beautiful. And especially once the leaves start falling off the trees, a lot of people are photographing, of course, all the mountains and the color that is still on the mountains. But my favorite time is when the leaves are starting to fall off and you have all these, this lovely bed of orange leaves, or if you're lucky, you get red ones like on the Champney Trail. And if you go up, you can see that in the Catskills as well. My work.
I really like that, the whole look behind you. That's happened to me so many times where your attention is drawn somewhere else where you should really, be looking around you. It's really beautiful, Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
I also have some of Nancy's photo prints here in the gallery. Lots of Hudson Valley scenarios, all different seasons. Some really beautiful winter, fall, and some gorgeous summer landscapes as well. Our next piece is by Jane Dell. Jane, are you here?
Yes.
You are, great.
I'm
great,
here.
Great. Okay.
Where? Whoops. Okay.
Let's see, let me find you. Can you wave for me?
Do you see me?
Usually when you start talking, you usually come right up top. Oh, I see you. Yep.
Here I am.
All right, great.
Okay.
Hi, welcome. So tell us about Looking Within. There's two pieces from the series, number 3 and then number 1.
Right. Well, I started this a few months ago. It's a series, ongoing series, and it was something that another show, another call for work about how the pandemic affected you. So I was thinking of looking within. You know, you had a lot of time to think about yourself and what's going on in the world and how you're reacting to all this. And so I had this photograph of a woman with a large leaf on her. It's a nude woman with a large leaf. I had it from one of my trips to Oaxaca, Mexico. And I loved the photograph, and but I totally changed it. But I used the figure, the arms, and I cut it apart, and I was using different images, mostly my own photographs that I would incorporate inside the body, but sometimes I used magazine images. And I just been working, each one is so different. I've done 8 of them so far, and they're just surreal in a way, and you know, about different thoughts that I've had. And
How far are you going to go with the series, Jane?
I don't know, I have 8 of them so far, and
Okay.
I just find it a lot of fun, and see
yeah,
how I change it. And
they're really wonderful. I think they're very, you know, it's great to see just, you know, different pieces from other scenarios combined into a, you know, like this one is in particular, I think is really just lovely.
yeah, it's a challenge in a way to keep
Exactly, to make it
the
fit.
same format, but change the interiors.
Great.
And
Well, thanks for joining us, Jane.
all right,
Good to
thank
see
you.
All right. Okay. Next we have Kashmira Demian. There's 2 pieces from Kashmira here. I don't think you're here, Kashmira, are you? No. Kashmira is an artist here in Saugerties. This piece is called Ascension. It's acrylic on canvas. 12 by 12 was created in 2021. The second piece is Souls in the Sky. This is from 2021 as well. How come it's not showing up the image? Okay, here we go. Souls in the Sky. Okay. Next we have Patricia DeBella Krieger. This is called Jessica Wearing Rabbit Ears from 2017. This is an oil on canvas piece. Are you seeing the art here? No.
Try making it, yeah, increasing the size there.
Yeah, no, it's for some reason it's not. It might be the internet connection as well.
There it is.
Yeah. Let me decrease the size of this so we can see it this way. Okay. So this is Jessica Wearing Rabbit Ears. This is oil on canvas. And it's from 2017. It's 10 by 7. Keenan, is Keenan here? Keenan Donnelly? This is a really fun piece. I like this a lot. This is called Escape 1. It's from this Escape series, and I'm not too sure why we are having problems viewing it here. It's a photograph. Keenan, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, lives in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. This is called Escape 1 from 2020. The image was taken in Portland, Oregon, and can be viewed as a diptych and a triptych with Escape 2 and Escape 3. Hi, Sidar. How are you? Okay, next we have Kristen Doyle. This is a really lovely piece. It's called I Want to Be Loved by Blue. It's ink, watercolor, and pencil. Kristen lives here in Saugerties. Or it's Kirsten, I'm so sorry. It's 12 by 9. I really like the texture that's created in this here. I'm sorry, I'm not too sure why this is working the way that it is. Michael Doyle, this is called Barn Burner. It's mixed media. Michael lives in Saugerties as well. Okay, now we're going to move over to me, and we're going to bring you to John Melville. Okay, John is an artist here in Saugerties. He's a really wonderful framer. This is called French Crossing Post. It's from 2021. No, I'm so sorry that I'm out of order. This is Carol Flates. This is encaustic. It's 6 by 6. This is Inception 1, and then the second piece is Colloidal Genesis 2. This is encaustic as well, 6 by 6. Gat Gabriel, Gat, are you here? I think I saw you. Or Rainin, did you want to speak about Gat's work?
Oh, that's surprising. I wasn't expecting that.
Okay, you don't have to.
There
you are here. Here you are, Gat. I see you. I'm going to pull you up. I'm happy to say that this piece sold. It's New Beginning. Gat is an artist here in Woodstock.
Yes, hi. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Yeah, I don't know how to begin, but that's a new beginning that I painted while I was starting my new life here in Woodstock. I think intuitively it led me into a state of healing and flying the city into a more calm and relaxed and nature surrounded life. I work mostly with oil, and that's it. That's an oil.
It's a beautiful piece. I'd really love to see some more. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. And then we have another Gabriel. We've got Rainin Gabriel. Rainin has 2 pieces in the show. This is the first. It's I have nothing smart to say to you. So tell us about this piece, Rainin, first, and then I don't have the other up on screen, but I'll bring you over to it.
Okay, I'm fascinating with the way words appears and the way they look like. You know, we talk and we communicate through words and sentences, and words have mass. We experience them as objects almost in our mind. We visualize them, if you like. And I think in this series, what I was doing, I kind of extended myself towards like sentences and tried to visualize how thing looks like. Specifically, this work is all about the difference between seeing and saying. Usually I'm standing in front of my work and I need to say something about it, and practically and almost always I have nothing smart to say to you, but I can show you. The second piece.
Let me bring the second piece up. All right, I'm going to bring you over here.
The second piece is touching exactly with the same concept of taking a sentence and visualizing it to a place that it's almost like creating an iconography of the text by itself. The name of the work is And Fuck You Too. And its appearance, intrigue, hopefully intrigue, thoughts, reminiscences, and anything that you feel like.
Nice. They're a lot of fun. I mean, you had brought that in yesterday.
Thank you, Robert.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Rainen. Rainen had brought that second piece in today, actually. So I haven't had a chance to put it up yet, but I'm really pleased to have it. Thank you, Rainen. All right. Next, we have two pieces by Pauline Galliana. These are paper collage and encaustic on wood panel. It's 10 by 10. This is the second piece, both 10 by 10. And let me see, do I have, Pauline lives in New York, in the city. She works simultaneously on distinct bodies of work, from collages to paintings and drawings, from ethereal installations to small scale sculptures, from performances to videos. The work often addresses the broad theme of destruction versus reconstruction. It combines noble and mundane materials. It expresses instinctive states of mind with formal compositions, using obsessive and meditative processes, meticulous planning, and patient execution, sometimes with rigorous grids. Common motions of drawing, looping, sticking, or sewing become, when applied across materials of such varied form, resilience, texture, and high and low associations. They become transformative. So these are two pieces by Paulina Galliana. Andrea Geller. I've got two pieces of works on paper from Andrea Geller. Andrea is a master with water. So come on up, Andrea, and tell us about, this is La Jolla Shores.
Hi, Robert. Thanks again for doing this. It's a nice event on this kind of a day. So this watercolor is from La Jolla, San Diego. I often go on travels, and when I do, I don't have the time to sit and do any work, so I take a lot of photographs. And when I come back to my studio, I'm selective with what I choose to pursue. And watercolor is for me, a very quick medium, because oils is the medium of my background. And I find that a lot of the times when I do the watercolors, they find their way into oil paint. But I've always been interested in studying people. And in addition to studying people, it's the space between people as they move. So I've taken to putting people in water, and water is one of my favorite places to be myself. And the calming, meditative, rhythmic waves were one of the highlights of my experience out in La Jolla. So I think the second piece is part of, I have like a few series that I continue depending on the time of year. And this one is I did this watercolor at my municipal pool over the summer. It was during the pandemic. And again, I was grateful that the pool opened, because I've since done a lot of research about how municipal pools have started in the 1800s and the development of them. And it's just such a nice cross-section of understanding communities. So I had the time, and I was pretty much like 5 feet behind this swimmer. And I was grateful to pull this off in the time period. So this is a small piece. I think it's 5 inches by 5 inches. And although this one didn't become an oil paint, pieces that were done during the summer actually did. And I've been doing a series of 32 by 32 oil paintings.
I like the series a lot. Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, I like the series a lot, especially the pool series. And there's a number of pieces on Artsy of Andrea's, a number of pool works, and then also some really fantastic ocean settings, some glaciers. So please have a look. Oh, and a whole series of preparing for the bath. Really, really wonderful work. So it's Andrea Geller, and have a look at her on Artsy. Thanks, Andrea.
And thank you, Robert.
Always good to see you. I have two pieces from Denise Giaradullo. Both of these are encaustic, little small ones. This one is 4 by 6, I believe. hold on. We're 6 by 6. 10 by 10. I'm sorry. No, 6 by 6. No, I was right. 6 by 6. So this is the first one called Playing Hospital. The second is called China Seas. Oh, now the images are coming up. Great, good. I have a whole series of small little works. They're photography edged with gold and silver leaf, all 3 by 3. I'm going to show you. There's 5 of them, all by Marianne Glass. All really wonderful little mini landscapes, Hudson Valley landscapes, and all 5 had sold, so they're found a new home outside of the Hudson Valley. So those are Marianne Glass, Madeline Goldman. I don't think Maddie's here. Madeline lives over in Port Ewan, I believe. Maddie Goldman. Boyceville. This is called Rust Moon. It's mixed media with wax. It's 8 by 10. Her work is driven by a spirit of playfulness, probably stemming from her background as a preschool educator. It was the spontaneous artwork of the children that has inspired her small abstract collages. This is the second piece called The Door to Nowhere. She experiments with variations of line, texture, and form, and her work is about materials as she experiments with layers of paint and translucent deli papers. The combining collage elements is like putting a puzzle together based on her own aesthetic. She finds the effect of placing the loose, layered, free-flowing abstracts on the tight, flat, patterned paper gives her work an intriguing quality, creating a feeling of emotion and warmth. So this is Maddie Goldman. We have 2 pieces by Christine Graff. This is called Measuring the Moon. I don't think Christine is here. Measuring the Moon is 8 by 10, 12 by 12. Ten by 10. It is rusted metal, string, fabric, and wood, created in 2021. The artist has become enchanted with rusted metal and machinery parts and pairs them with opposite materials, like fabrics, lace, string. The fragile opposite, strong. Man-made iron parts that have grown a patina of wear and of a former life. A study in contrasts of wabi-sabi, of time passing. She sews using fabric, uniting soft with hard, the excitement of contrast, male and female energy. Objects have a story to tell. Objects have a story to tell, a history, and their deteriorated state. They have lived a life. Perhaps they were a prosaic tool, an auto part, a horseshoe. They then become reincarnated into artwork, having a new life. All art making is a kind of alchemy. She creates work that aids in her own life, that brings calm and beauty. One hopes that it is all, this is the same as offered to the viewer. Oh, we lost the art again, I'm sorry. William Greenwood, these are 2 fun pieces. I'm going to bring you over to them to see them in person. Oh, there you go. Couple pieces here. These are the jacks. Really fun. They're made out of silver and a lucite ball. This is a brand new piece of a knockout fight. And then this is the third piece, which is, it's called Après le Bain, After the Bath. It's silver and lapis pillbox base. So those are 3 pieces by William Greenwood. Let's get back to sharing my screen. Okay, great. So that's William Greenwood. Now we've got Jerry's birthday. Helen Gutfreund. Gutfreund, is that how you say it, Helen?
Good friend.
Oh, love, even better. Perfect. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me bring that back.
There
we
he
go.
is.
Jerry's birthday. So you were telling me the story about this at the gallery. So tell me. Tell me about it.
Contrary to what was written in the press release, this is not Jerry Garcia, but this is it's not Jerry Garcia. No, it is a gentleman. Maybe we can wait until it comes back up before I tell the story.
Sorry. Bring it up this way. Computer's been giving me some problems today. I'm having some problems myself. All right, so tell us a story while I'm looking him up. Here we go.
There he is. So I was at a Grateful Dead cover band performance on Jerry's birthday, Jerry Garcia's birthday, which is August 1st. And it is celebrated August 1st through August 8th, I believe, is the days between when Jerry was born and when he died. So there's always some celebrations around that time. And I met this gentleman at a cover show on Jerry's birthday, and he was so wonderful and friendly and really made me feel like I wanted to talk to him. He's not someone I knew. I asked him if I could take his photograph, and he said, of course. And we had a very nice conversation, and I met his friends. And it was wonderful. And I knew that I had to draw him right away. And I like to think that his portrait brings joy to people who are looking at it. He's such a friendly face. He was a very friendly person. There he is. Yeah, and excuse the gray stripes on the side of that. That's my poor scanning skills. But like I was saying, I met him at a show, and he was just so wonderful and friendly. And especially in a time when people, I drew this over this past summer. So especially at a time when people were having trouble connecting with people because of the pandemic and social distancing. There was a connection with this person, and I like to think that my work talks to interconnectedness. I am a multidisciplinary artist, so I'm working on a series right now of large 22 by 30 oil bar drawings, some of which are portraits of people, some of which are portraits of animals, but it's all about that interconnectivity and that connection with another being that I am feeling strongly about in my work currently. Thank you for putting this together, Robert.
Oh, absolutely, and apologies for the technical difficulties.
That's okay.
But I'm glad we got him up, and I'm sorry. Yeah. He looks just like Jerry, and I know it was at a Grateful Dead concert.
He definitely embodies that same spirit of
yeah.
So thank you.
Great. Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Where are we next? Christine, are you here? Christine Henninger? I thought I saw you come up.
Yes, can you hear me?
You are, okay, you are here. Yeah. All right, let's
Hi, Robert.
I'm trying to find you.
Okay. You see me?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see you. Yep. Gotcha. All right, welcome.
Cool. Thank you.
So Christine's got two pieces. You have Sunflower, which I'm having those problems again, and then the second is Flowers and Sky.
Yep.
So yeah, tell us about these two pieces.
Well, I do a lot of flowers, and flowers obviously lend themselves to be photographed. Like this sunflower is saying, photograph me, please. And because it's just so beautiful. And then I enhanced it a little bit, and with, exposure and contrast and saturation and whatnot. And there you have it. It kind of speaks for itself, I think, Can you hear me?
I can. I'm on mute.
Okay.
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 So the second one, let me bring the second one up.
The second one was
Flowers and Sky.
Flowers and Sky, and those are my Rudbeckias. I like to, change levels when I'm taking photographs to get a different perspective, and that's what this is. I used to be a dancer, and so there was always like doing a movement and then changing it different levels on the ground, medium, high. So it's always interesting to change that up. And this I took from underneath them looking up, and they're just such a beautiful color contrast against the beautiful, blue sky. Again, it just begged to be photographed. I mean, these photographs are just kind of there. I see like photos are everywhere, and I just like can capture them. It's not like I have to go after them. They're there if I can see them, is sort of my approach.
Wonderful. I love the colors, especially in this one. And they're little.
They are little.
Yeah, they're little. They're a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
you.
I'm really pleased to have them here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Apologies again for the technical difficulties that I'm having here.
That's okay. I always have technical difficulties.
Sometimes my life is technical difficulty.
Exactly.
Right. Thank you, Christine. Next, I have two pieces by Ali Herman. This piece sold. It's 6x6. It's an encaustic. The second piece is called Nuthatch Number 8. This is encaustic as well, 6x6. Next, we have Sue Horowitz. Sue, are you here? I don't think so. This is a mixed media piece. It's called New World Atlas. Sue lives in High Falls, New York. It was created in 2020. It's small in scale. Most of her work presents a whimsical, curious view of evolution in terms of man's interference. The idea behind World Atlas is of familiarity. Oh my God, say that twice fast. Transformed. Matchsticks of planned obsolescence combined with the false sense of permanence that is our world using map illustrations. Resin, encaustic, and sandblasting are some materials and techniques I use to evoke the way time, decay, and hubris informs our place in the world. New World Atlas is a matchbox consisting of map illustrations. It's a new exploration of historical journeys. Will we get there? Resin, encaustic, and sandblasting are some materials she uses. So this is Sue Horowitz. The second piece, we've got two pieces from Jeanette Heel. Jeanette lives here in Socrates. This is a lovely oil on canvas that is sold. It's called Sansonville Sunset. The second piece is called Tannery Brook 2. This is oil on canvas as well. We have two pieces by Gabriella Kirby. I don't think you're here, Gabriella, right? No. This piece is called Paper Airplanes. It's number 6. It's a mixed media. And this is Paper Airplanes number 8. The series, it's part of a larger series. It's a dozen small works created on paper in the spring of 2021. Inspired directly by the experience of living in the Catskills, she became more and more deeply moved by the breadth and vulnerability of nature. These mixed media pieces are a study of the interaction between color fields and structured mark making that parallels nature's play between fragility and strength. So these are the two Gabriellas. Next, we have Pam Krimsky. This is Hydrangea. It's a small little piece. It's acrylic on canvas. Kevin Kunster. This is called The Last Murmuration. This is a really stunning piece that needs to be seen in person. It is cold wax painting. It's got a bird skeleton, hair. It's on a wood panel and it's framed in a beveled glass or a curved glass. Let me see, where is Kevin living? Kevin lives in Copiague Falls, New York. This is what Kevin has to say about the piece. This is a painting with other materials incorporated. The painting was photographed without the glass due to reflections. The glass is convex, as I said. Climate change, disease, social justice, and mass migration mark the advent of the new millennium. Human beings are challenged as never before. Can we find the understanding and empathy for our fellow souls required to solve these existential problems, or will we disappear from the earth, leaving a sea of plastic, radioactive waste, and ruined habitats? Really gorgeous piece that needs to be seen in person. Who is this here? Oh, Robert Latch. Robert's a friend of mine, lives in Montclair, New Jersey, and he uses all recycled materials in his sculpture. This is an untitled piece. This is the second piece from the series. He uses some foam, I believe it's resin, and a lot. Robert, his work deals a lot with environmental issues, bringing attention to our environment and the destruction of our environment, as Kevin was doing as well. So that's Robert Latch. Excuse me one sec, my voice is going. Hillary Lander. Hillary lives in Saugerties, New York. This is called Forest Light, I'm sorry, it's 8 by 10. It's an oil piece on canvas. It's an abstract view of sunlight finding its way through the trees. The yellow paint sends shards of sunlight through the trees. Veronica Lawler. Veronica, are you here?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, Robert.
Hold on, just lost you. Hi, come on up. To give two pieces from Veronica in the show, really beautiful abstracts. So we've got overlap, and then the second piece is patterns. Did you want to talk about either one first?
Yeah, I could start with this one. Hi, Robert. Thanks for having me. Shall I talk? Okay. So this is patterns. My abstract work is based on drawings that I make on location, and I'm really drawn to cities. And then, so I take the drawings and I use them as a point of departure to really kind of get at the essence of the feeling from the city. And so this particular piece called Pattern is exploring the movement and the patterns created when an urban structure is demolished. And I like to think about the energy that's released also, and the memories of all the life that happened in those places. This piece is actually part of a larger series that I've started working on after drawing the demolition of the Kosciuszko Bridge, which is was a huge old truss bridge connecting Brooklyn and Queens. And this was sort of the start of that series. And, you know, I just sort of like the feeling of the machines chipping away and just sort of the unraveling of something that took so long to build is something that I'm really interested in exploring with these.
And the second piece is part of that series as well, no? Overlap?
Overlap, well, it's kind of yes and no. It's also an urban landscape, I guess you could call it in a way. It's the feeling of streetlights. If you've ever had the good fortune to travel up a city street late at night when there's no traffic, and how the lights just sort of overlap one after the other. And it's talking about that feeling and kind of the memory of that and the sort of shimmery feeling of seeing, I mean, I have a specific memory of being on Madison Avenue at like 2 a.m. in a cab and how the lights all lined up and it just sort of created this pattern in front of me. And, that's what this one is really about.
It's beautiful. Your work is really, really beautiful. And we've been talking, you know, I'd definitely like to see some more, but I'm really pleased to have these two pieces in the show. They're really beautiful.
Thanks very much, Robert. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you.
Same here.
Okay, next we have two pieces by John Leninger. This is called Mardi Gras. It's an acrylic on canvas. And the second piece is called Sepia Sea. This is acrylic on canvas as well. And John, I don't have anything. Okay. Barbara Tepper-Levy. Barbara, you're here, right?
I am.
All right, great. Let me bring you up.
And Robert, I'm just going to correct. your pronunciation of my name. It's Levy, Barbara Deborah Levy.
I'm so sorry. I've been saying Levy all this time.
I think you go back and forth, but absolutely no problem.
Well, good to see you. So this is Seated Child. Really beautiful piece. You don't see many, pieces in this, especially in this configuration or format or size. So yeah, tell me about this piece, and then also you've got Walk in the Park. Two really nice abstract works.
What I have to say about abstracts is that I tend to go against what most of my teachers, well, actually, my collages and my abstracts. I'm a multimedia artist. I work in a lot of different media. But this is one of my acrylic pieces. I am blessed or cursed with I looked it up, pareidolia, which people may be familiar with, which is the ability to see objects in things, in painted things. For example, the marble on my bathroom wall. Right now I have a picture of Rihanna, and there's one of the Mouse King from Midsummer. And there's Jasper, my dog. You have to excuse
Hi, Jasper.
Me. He's a watchdog, and he won't stop. I'm sorry. Anyway, so basically I put the color down onto canvas in an abstract way, and then I look at it. And sometimes I don't see anything in it. Well, on the other one. Not this one, the acrylic. Yeah. Sometimes I don't see anything, but sometimes I see something. And to me, I saw a seated child on that. So that's how the name came about on this one. And I work very fast when I deal with collage. I know some people put things down and they sort of pin them there and they wait and see how it looks. I'd rather do more things quickly. So I start from, the first layer, and I look at it, and if it seems right, I will just put it down. So I just love I love working in color. I love working in bright color. I've been told by at least one teacher at Woodstock School of Art, who is no longer living, to quiet down my pieces, but I can't.
No, there's a nice balance of color. You've got a really nice way of balancing out the colors. Especially like some earth tones and some vibrancy. Really, really nice.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to have them. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Okay. Yvette Lewis, two pieces from Yvette. These are both solar etchings. The first one, this is the one at the gallery. Well, this is a monotype. It's a pastel and pencil. It is 7.5 by 6.5. And then the second piece, this one is the solar panel. This is 7.5 by 7.5 as well, I believe. Well, Yvette lives here in Socrates. Linda Linton, I saw you here earlier. Are you still here? You are. Great.
Yeah.
Come on up. I've got a few of Linda's pieces here at the gallery. This is one of them. And then I brought up two. I brought up Spring Wildflowers, and this one is Open Fields. So welcome,
Right.
Linda.
Hi there. This is a wonderful show. I'm basically a representational artist who specializes in landscape and nature. And one of my aims, and I do in oils, these are all in oils. One of my aims is to try to get the emotional content of a scene or an object across. Because I feel both the scene itself can have an emotional content, and then there is one's own emotional response. This basically is almost abstract, and it's of a mountain field. I'm just in love with mountains, and that sense of slope and the change in atmosphere and the climate within a mountain, on the side of a mountain, is something that always attracted me. And I've tried to convey some of this. Both these pieces, they're really tiny, they're 4x4s. In fact, they began as a series of paintings in response to a poem, but they're all standalone. And this, the painting is better than the photo. I realized I really should have done a better photo of this.
A lot of them don't, you know, pieces. A lot of the works don't really photograph all that well.
I know, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think with everything, that both these paintings are to do with spring, and it's that whole burst of energy and the optimism you always get when spring arrives. And these are early spring flowers that were basically in my backyard. And the other one is, you know, the mountains. We're in the Catskills here. So, you know, just that burst of life. And that's what I'm trying to convey here. And of course, the format, when you're doing these really tiny formats, they're really fun, because you can get so much into this tiny format if you work on it. Yeah. And that makes it really, yeah.
I also wanted to, show the two smaller pieces that are in the gallery. Here you go.
Oh, right, yes, this, much to my surprise, and it is a surprise, I seem to be developing a series of paintings of the seashore, but they're all different seashores. This is actually Long Beach in New Jersey, but my seashore paintings seem to be coming from all around the country now. It's a surprise to me. And again, it's that movement, the life of the water. And of course, when you're on the seashore, how can you say no to a seagull? You know. So,
yeah, they're fun pieces. I like them a lot. Yeah. We have some. I've got some smaller works of Linda's here on the table, and then there's a nice collection of Linda's work on Artsy, including one of her series where she explored the Sawkill River for a whole year and did a lot of painting of some very familiar scenes here in the Hudson Valley. Really pleased to have them here, Linda. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Let's
oh, yeah, I have to
share the screens again. Okay. Marjorie Maggid. This is an abstract piece by Marjorie called Yellow Dance. Marjorie lives here in Saugerties. And then there's a second piece here called The Blue Door. Both of these, is this acrylic? I think they're both acrylic. Dorothea, I saw you. This, I was really pleased to see this. This is a first collagraph from Dorothea. So welcome, Dorothea. Tell us about this piece.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Yeah, this was my very first collagraph. As you know, you've shown lots of my collages and photographs. And Joan Folliott, who's a wonderful printmaker who lives in Malden, and I own some of her work, told me that she thought I might like studying to do collagraphs because it's very similar to collage, you know, in kind of the way you create the composition. And so this was the first collage I did, and I'll show you, I don't know if you can see it's just on a plexiglass plate. It's basically a collage. This way you can see the colors more. And it's basically tape and paper, and then putting black ink on it and then rubbing some of it off to get a lot of the gray tones. But because I love texture, I left these little hairy little pieces of the tape, you know, to give it more texture. I don't like things that are very, you know, even and and whatever the word would be. I like things that are kind of chaotic. And and it's very funny because I have a friend, Ann Northrup, who's a wonderful artist in Philadelphia, and I'd sent her a copy of the print. And she said, does this have a title? She said, it looks dangerous. She said, off balance, uncertain, crowded, sharp points with falling / flying, possibly colliding objects. So that was her reaction to it. So I said, maybe I should call it chaos or cacophony or something. But anyway, I'm pleased with it, and I've continued. I did the collographs for a few weeks, and then we did pronto plate prints where I was able to use some of my photographs and do interesting manipulations with them. And now we're doing monoprint. So you may be seeing some other work from me soon. And it's very challenging for me to do printmaking because like Barbara had said earlier, I'm someone, I like to work very quickly and kind of intuitively, and I'm not very patient, and I'm not used to having to follow any particular technical process, and be careful with materials. So that's why I always love collage. And so it's kind of, out of my comfort zone, but I've been enjoying learning something new. So thank you.
Well, if this is any indication, I like what's coming ahead. So please continue.
Thank you.
Continue on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothea. Two really lovely pieces by Ellen Martin. I don't think Ellen is here. It is from her Dying Rose series. Ellen lives in Long Branch, New Jersey, and she does some curating down at the Oyster Point Hotel. Does a really, really wonderful job. If you're in the area, please look her up. This is the very first, oh no, this is yours, I'm sorry, this is Colorado. So this is the Dead Roses series. So with the Dead Roses series, I continue my exploration of decay and decrepitude. Ellen has a whole series of abandoned buildings that she's been working on for a bit. Roses aren't alive for long, but they maintain their beauty during every stage of their lifespan. Even in their textured and withered state, they remain lovely objects. In the random scattering of petals, I found beauty. So these are two pieces from Ellen Martin. They're both photographs. Laura Martinez Bianco. Laura, are you here? I don't think so. This is a small, really wonderful encaustic. I'm sorry, the Ellen Martin pieces are iPhone photography. Laura lives in Marlboro, New York. This is a really, really cute piece. I like it a lot. It's only set 4x4. It's encaustic on board and created in 2019, and it was done in a studio after a trip to the Joshua Tree. Even when I am away from home, mountains inspire me. So this is Mojave. The second piece is called Springfields. This is another small encaustic piece. This is 6x9. Kate Masters. Kate is a wonderful, I know her as a landscape artist here in Saugerties. So I was a little surprised to see this abstract piece come in. This is called Trapped. And then the second piece, which is a little more reflective of the work that, that Kate does, is a watercolor piece called Vibrant Worlds number 18. John Melville. John is a wonderful artist here in Saugerties. He's a fantastic framer as well. This is called Peek It. It's a mixed media collage. And the second piece is called French Cross Post. So with this French Cross Post, John says, I recently found my old stamp collection from when I was a kid and really wanted to do something creative with the stamps. I managed to only use French stamps on this Citrogen image as they work so well together. So that's John Melville. Ooh, okay, let me bring up, where's our next one? Okay, Anne Morris. Anne is a wonderful artist here in Saugerties. Yes, Anne lives in Saugerties. This is called Three Faces of Eve 2. It's stoneware with an underglaze. And then this is a piece by Gray Ivor Morris. This is called Roman Child. It's a mosaic. And Gray doesn't say anything about that. We have Pete Mora. This is called Padre Solaire. It's acrylic on washi mounted on canvas. Pete lives over in Beacon. And he wrote something about this. Here we go. So I was watching an Italian TV drama and saw a priest chasuble, which is a religious garment, chasuble maybe, of a peculiar yellowish green color with a gold zip in the middle. And I immediately thought, that's my next zip painting. The painting is entitled Padre Solaire, after the composer Antonio Solaire, who is usually known as Padre, father in the religious sense, because he was a priest as well as a composer whose work spanned the late Baroque era. So this is Padre Solaire. The second piece by Pete is called Scolari's Way, Scolari's Sky. It's part of a series of works he started more than 30 years ago. Back then I had made a dozen works, but I was never happy with the results, so I stopped making them. After a year ago, I started painting patterns of cubes again. One of the first works was rather large in size, almost 4 square feet, and took a long time to finish. So as I was painting, I decided I would listen to all of the 555 Scarlatti sonatas. Domenico Scarlatti was an Italian composer of the Baroque era. It's a wonderful tribute. Susan Murphy. I don't think Susan's here. So this is called Arcadia. It's watercolor and pastel on wood. Susan lives here in Saugerties. The story behind this is after a massive maple tree fell behind our house, one of my neighbors cut it up. When I went to clean up afterwards, I found 2 shards of wood that asked to be used as bases for paintings. Arcadia emerged first as cedars and calmed my soul with its mythic beauty and elegance. And I have a second piece from Susan, and this is called Plunging into the Depths. It's oil pastel on paper. A saying of the goddess is, do not be afraid to visit me in the depths. As I confronted the world in crisis, I took this literally. Blood is a constant element for women. We must learn not to fear it, but to let it deepen our strength and courage. May I be fearless. Nice. Okay. Sorry. Some difficulties. Okay. Addie Nichter. Addie, are you here? Hello. I hope you're here.
Yes.
Oh, good, good, good. Let me tell a little story about this first before I bring Addie on. Addie is, I'm one of Addie's biggest fans. Addie comes and visits me at the gallery when her mom, Ingrid Nichter, brings over her work, and Addie's always bringing me some of the new art that she's worked on. So this last time when her mom came to deliver her work, Addie brought me this. It's called Forsyth Park, and I asked her if she wouldn't mind if I put it in the show because I think it's such a fun piece, and I would love for people to see it. So Addie, welcome. Here's your 8x8 acrylic on canvas. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So the Forsyth Park is a real park, and this painting shows the love of the park. My dad and I go into it almost every day on the weekends, and I never want to leave. I always have a blast, and this shows the love of the park that I go to. And the green in tube is actually a slide. It's a tube slide.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite parts.
Tell me about the angle that you painted it at.
So it's sort of like at the entrance, but not quite. Like it's close to the boat that you can see in the corner, but it's not exactly showing the boat. It's mostly at the tube slide, and in the background there's the house. Nice.
Now, one last question. Tell me what you thought when you saw your work on the wall. Or your artwork on the wall with everybody else.
I thought you chose a really good spot for it.
Nice. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Good, good. Well, I hope to bring more. I hope to show more of your work at the gallery. So, you know, keep bringing me your artwork when you come to visit, and who knows, maybe I'll bring another one in.
All right.
I'm really glad to have you, Addie. It's good to see you.
All right, thanks.
Now let's take a look at some of your mom's work. Hi, Ingrid.
Hi, Robert. How you doing?
Well, how are you?
I am also well. Such a gret show. All the different types of pieces and different styles.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so this is
So you have
Loud
two pieces. You've got Loud Silence, and then you've got Bubble Machine.
Yep. And Loud Silence is mixed media collage, and in the background it's got, you know, I've been making a lot of pieces with pieces of my war training manual from the 1930s, and almost running out of that. But on top of that is layers of marker and handmade papers, and then molding paste. There's a lot of texture to most of my pieces, and this one too. And you can kind of see it's got like the holy paper in the face, kind of makes a lot of texture. And the bubble machine is really cool, and you can't really see it in 2D, but in person, like all the little bubbles, they're all painted with iridescent paints and color shifting paints. And it's really kind of cool. It catches the light different ways and very reminiscent of actual bubbles. Because you have a bubble machine, right?
Yeah.
Nice. I've got some bubbles here at the gallery. So next time you're here, if you want to, you know, look in the installation in the bathroom. There's some bubbles in the pants there, in the jeans. Well, thank you both for joining us. I'm really, really pleased. Thank you. And Addie, a special treat to see you here. Thank you.
She's so excited to be a part of this show. It's so
I'm very excited too. I really am.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you. Okay. You know what? One of my favorite things about running the gallery is when children come in and show an appreciation for art. And I always really want to engage them in discussion and really see what they're drawn to, what their thoughts are. Because everybody thinks different things when they see art, especially abstract art. So I'm really, really pleased when kids come in and engage with the art. So bring in your kids, bring in your grandkids, bring in your neighbors. Art's for everybody. And I think, you know, growing an appreciation or facilitating an appreciation, you know, at a young age can really make a big difference, as we just saw. So congratulations, Addie, and I really hope to see more of you again, or more of your work. I will see you again. All right. Next, we've got Janae Niebergaal. Did I pronounce that right? Janae, I don't think you're here. No. Janae Niebergaal is, hold on one second. She's in Kingston. This is called Cool Orbs. Both of the pieces are ink on Yupo. They're 12 by 9. I'm interested in making sensory evocative paintings. Guided by instinct and sensation, I explore the language of color, its formal and emotional qualities. Irresistibly drawn to the luscious physicality of the pigment, I employ a supersaturated palette, smooth glossy texture, and fluid movement, wherein the formal elements yield to the sensuous nature of the composition. This is the first piece called Cool Orbs. And then this is the second piece called Warm Orbs. I have two pieces by Sandra Nystrom. Sandra, this is called Running Fast #1, and this is Running Fast #2. And Sandra lives over in Olive, I believe. This is Oil on Board. Sandra lives in Woodstock. I'm sorry. Both of them are Oil on Board. They're part of a series, but they stand alone. The power of water running in a stream after a heavy rainstorm emotionally inspires me. Using layers of oil glaze allows me to achieve the depths of these waters and provide me a tool to draw ripple forces. So these are Sandra Nystrom's. I have 2 pieces from Nancy O'Hara, who was just in the gallery. It's so good to see Nancy and Michael both. And she was on her way over to Wham. Wham is having a small show as well. This is called Clear Skies. It's pastel on paper. And then the second piece is called Autumn. This is graphite pastel on paper. And Nancy lives in Germantown on the other, across the river. I have 2 pieces by Jacqueline Oster. This is called The Blues. This is watercolor. And then the second is called Another Fork in the Road. Both of them were done in 2021. And Jacqueline lives in West Hurley, New York. I have 2 pieces by Michael Palladino. Michael splits his time between New York and Pennsylvania. These are from a series called River Fog. They're photographs with paraffin. This is River Fog 1, and this is River Fog 2. And oh, he lives in Bangor, PA. They are both 10 by 10. They're mounted on whitewashed wooden tray that's about a 1 1/4 inch deep. Early autumn mornings on the Delaware River. As the seasons change to cooler temperature, the world wakes foggy and quiet, obscured before the hazy cloak lifts. I have a few other of Michael's pieces that have been in previous shows. Some really wonderful combination of encaustic and photography, and there's a real moody sense to them. They're really lovely. I've got 2 pieces by Suzanne Parker. This is called Fishy Fantasy. It's oil and acrylic on canvas. It looks like a collage, but it's not. It's painted, and the fish and butterflies were achieved via an acrylic transfer method similar to encaustic. So this is the first piece, and this is the second piece called Bubble Fantasy. And Suzanne lives in, where do you live, Suzanne? Bearsville. I've got 2 pieces by Susan Phillips. This is of the Brooklyn Museum, a really beautiful black and white photograph. And then this is graffiti in New York. A lot going on here. Susan lives, splits her time between, she lives here in Saugerties and also New York City. Geraldine Popko. This is called Freezing Puddle. This is watercolor and ink. Geraldine, did I see you before? Are you here? No? Okay. This is watercolor and ink. And then the second piece is Apples. This is oil on canvas, and this is 5 by 7. Geraldine lives in Woodstock. As a figurative painter, I interpret the world in 2 dimensions by exploring line, light, and shadow, color, and pattern. As a plein air painter, I work to capture the beauty in the mountains and valleys around me. As a still life painter, I reflect the beauty of ordinary, everyday objects. I paint what I see, but also I look deeper to find something of the essence of my subject. So these are Geraldine Popko's. I have 2 pieces by Elaine Power. This is Hydrangeas 1. And then this is Hydrangeas 2. Both of them are oil on canvas. I'm sorry, it's oil on panel. And Elaine lives in Woodstock. Eileen. Because I'm looking at Elaine right now. There is magic in manifesting ideas. I love the process of making art, of turning something upside down and inside out, of trying variations on the same theme. I love exploring the many possibilities of an image or a technique. I love a good line. I love color, but I also appreciate the absence of color. I try to retain a childlike innocence, a what would happen if frame of mind. My goal is to remain open to as many possibilities and mediums as possible to show up and see what happens. So these are 2 really wonderful abstract pieces by Eileen Power. Next we have, is this Elaine next? Oh, Terry Priestner. Okay, Terry, here we go. I gotta get out of this screen and let's share the other. Okay. Terry Priestner. Terry is an artist here over in Freehold, New York. This is called Late Night on the Farm. It's oil on canvas. It's 12 by 12. And I don't think Terry's here. I think I saw her a little earlier. Okay. So Terry says, my paintings are inspired by the natural beauty of upstate New York and the East Coast of the US. I particularly enjoy painting the different effects of light at different times of the day. I hope my paintings bring a sense of peace. Nocturne painted from a farm near me with the mystery of a full moon. Terry's second piece is, oh, no, I'm sorry, Elaine. Elaine, I saw it, that you were on my mind because I was looking right at you. So Elaine Ralston has two pieces in the show. This is a little different than I'm used to of yours, Elaine, and I really, really liked it a lot. And of course, it's not coming up, but please tell us about both the pieces and welcome.
Hi, how are you? It's nice to be here.
All right. Got a little sore throat, but I'm okay.
Okay. This piece was sort of experimental. I had the Flight of the Bumblebee music, and I Xeroxed it onto paper, and then I put a coat of well, just a coat of sanded primer on it. That's what I was thinking of. And I wanted to do, since it had the Flight of the Bumblebee in it, under it, I wanted to work really quickly and, you know, just pretend I was a bumblebee. And I wanted to do a landscape that was quick, and this is what came out of it. And
it's got really great movement.
Yeah, and I left some of the music showing too, so get an idea.
On the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, if you could read music. Yeah. One little bar.
Yeah, my internet connection's really bad here today. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm having some real technical difficulties. Elaine, tell me about the second piece. This is very reflective of what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is called Near the Pines.
Yeah, this was a very quick landscape. I was just trying to capture the moodiness of the day. And it was just a very quick study. And I was going to make it a bigger painting because this is only a 5 by 7, but I don't know. I liked it as a small one, so I kept it small. And it's a pastel also.
Really beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Elaine. Give Ruby my best. Give her some treats.
Oh, she's here. She wants up on my lap.
Hi, Ruby. All right. Thanks, Elaine.
All right. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I have two pieces from Kenneth Ricci. Kenneth lives over in New York. Yes, New York, New York. This is called Number 31 from Anteroom Memories as a series. It's a cut and paste collage. My work is in the line of narrative art or visual storytelling. I hope the viewer engages and continues with the storyline in their head. This is number 31. And then the second piece is number 62. I really wish this would come up more. I'm so sorry about all this, folks. I have two really wonderful pieces by Tad Richards. Tad is an artist here in Saugerties, he's in Kingston now. And these are all digital paintings. This is Study in Color number 4. And this is Study in Color number 4. That must be wrong. Apologies on that. Marilyn Rowley. Marilyn is an artist living here in Saugerties. This is called Towards the Light. It's pastel, ink, and acrylic. And then Lydia Rubio. Lydia, I know you're here. I saw you earlier. There you are. Great. Welcome. So Lydia has two pieces in the show. Lydia has this piece here called Narrative Still, and then the second piece is Building in Blue. So Lydia, welcome, and why don't you tell us about these words?
Thank you, Robert. This is wonderful. I think it's great. The job that you've done is amazing.
and all the artists, the variety. But also I'd like to say something about the idea of the Petit format is so incredibly wonderful. Because I think most of the artists in the show, I have noticed that are women artists. And I think that it is, my feeling is that there is a tendency in women art to do small works or miniatures. And that's something that, you know, it's very seldom that you have men artists doing these little pieces. So I think it's precious, and I look at it that way. But in this case, this piece, which I call a narrative still, is to me, it's the first, in the pandemic, I was enclosed in this room, you know, for months and months, like we all had, and we were. And I was doing these abstract pieces, and I decided to, I went to the market and I saw these peppers that were so lush and incredible. And I said, wait, I bought the peppers, I put them in my studio, and I said, I'm going to start painting this. And the idea here of narrative is that it's a combination of one pepper. It was like a triptych. It works like a triptych. You know, one pepper, two pepper, that orange pepper, the yellow pepper, and then the two peppers get together at the end, no? But there's a combination also. it's like it's objects, you know, that have a life, like people. Huh? So if we say that objects have a life, it also lines are objects and they have a life. So I'm combining abstraction with realism here in a way that I think I'm doing a series of these still lives, and I love, you know, the whole attempt to combine these genders.
Now tell us about the second piece. It is hold on, where is it? Building in Blue.
Okay. This is part of my ongoing series of called Constellations. And this is a piece that it has to do with, well, it's a watercolor, but it's not really a watercolor because I have done, this is done with natural pigments and resins. And so I do my own watercolor, no? And it combines, I think it's, and again, an attempt to combine gesture with geometric strictness. Like it's like two hands working at the same time, the right and the left brain, something, combining these pieces in, that's why I say building in blue. I have a lot of the idea of blue as a soothing, that's that the idea of constellations came from the sky. And I'm doing also a series called Notes of the Sea, which has to do with this kind of colors that bring us peace. And, you know, they bring us in these moments of turmoil, they bring us something peaceful, silence, some sort of that kind of feeling.
Wonderful. It's a really peaceful piece. I mean, I can certainly see where it's coming from. Thank you so much, Lydia. It's really wonderful to see you. I appreciate you.
It's great to be here with you, Robert.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Dominic. Hold on, Dominic. I want to, again, I'm having a little technical difficulties. No worries. So let's bring this piece up here. All right, Dominic Santis. So Dominic, welcome.
Thank you.
Just sorry, here you are. Great. Oh, you're up top. All right. Wonderful. So Dominic has two pieces in the show. This is called, the first one is called River's Edge. It's a watercolor piece. So Dominic, welcome, and tell us about the work.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the show. Thank you for including me. Everything looks great. I didn't realize until I looked at the list that I was literally last of the people who were scheduled.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no. That wasn't. I was just like it was just funny. I saw like all these people below me, and I'm looking at the shots trail off on the side, you know, as is understandable, but it was just but anyway. So both pieces are actually from the same series. They're all from a Hudson River series that started about 10 plus years ago. The feeling of them has changed over the years. What I thought was interesting about the selections that you made was that this is one of the very first of the series, and the other one is one of the last of the series. And I had made this conscious effort at some point during the pandemic. I just looked back at some of the early ones, and I kind of liked the graphics and marks that had kind of gotten lost over time in them, more the line and the ink aspects of it. And I thought it was interesting that you ended up choosing two that had all of that in it. They're all scenes from along the Hudson. I like the depth that gets played off of as you're traveling fast on the train or in a car, or, you know, I know I see the scenes over and over again. So they're typically a scene that I would see at least 5, 6, if not a couple dozen times in the course of, you know, a few years. And it would always, something different would always trigger a new reason to sketch it and draw it, and then I'll paint it later.
The second piece, there's a second piece up, the Through the Line?
Yes.
Okay, great. The movement and the colors are fantastic, and the movement is really wonderful. I'm not surprised though that I was drawn to them, because it's you know, I'm always drawn to art like this.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Really pleased to have it. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you.
Where are you based, Dominic?
Beacon.
By the way? Beacon. Okay, right. All right, wonderful. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Hope to see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Next, we have two pieces. One is by two pieces by Martina Sestakova. This is the first piece. This one is called Walking Through. It is acrylic on paper. Sorry, you keep seeing big me and then little me. My internet ran out, so I had to pull up some of the manual files. So this is Martina's second piece. It's called Roaring with Laughter. This is on watercolor. And let me see if there's... Martina is in Kensington, Maryland. Roaring with Laughter. The title of this painting is inspired by a line in Foolishness. No, it's not. A poem by Mary Oliver. I hope you enjoy the positive energy in this piece. It's like a firework of laughter and fun. This is from a series called Visual Insights into Life's Beauty. All right. We have a few pieces by Rita Sherry. I don't think you're here, Rita. No, you are. No, is that you? No. This first piece, this is a sculptural piece. It's called Lean on Me. It's ceramic. And then the second piece, let me see if this has something about Lean on Me. Yes, this it's ceramic. It's 7 by 7. This work was inspired by figures from Aboriginal art, which is a constant source of inspiration for me. The next piece is called Little Creatures. Little Creatures is a, this is an etching, and it is 8 by 10. Okay. What's next? Is Lisa here? Lisa Schoenfeld? No? Okay, let me bring this up. Okay, this is by Beth Schoenfeld. I'm sorry. Beth lives in Saugerties. This is called Redhead. It's a mixed media. What Beth has to say is she creates with paper, cloth, paint, and glue. Layering, ripping, and rebuilding is my progress. I connect my relationships of space and object into compositions that feel good and express my sense of well-being. within our shared environment. So this is the first piece. This is a really small piece, a little wonderful one. And then the second piece is a mixed media piece called Windows. Okay. Well, that's Dominic's. Roberta Sickler. I have a few pieces from Roberta in the show. This one is called All Yours. This is a oil on panel. It's 10 by 10. And then I have an encaustic piece by Roberta as well. Okay, now this is where we're coming to the close. So this is where it's getting a little technical for me. Or a little technical problems because I haven't been able to open up the artwork as we're speaking because of the horrible internet connection here. So just bear with me. You've all been really very patient and I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. All right. There we go. So this is a second piece by Roberta Sickler. Roberta is an abstract artist here in, where is Roberta? Roberta is over in Woodstock, Bearsville. Okay, so this is the second piece. Next we have two pieces by Angela Gaffney Smith. Both of them are really beautiful landscapes. This is called Platte Clove from Saugerties on the Hudson. Oh, really, folks? It is watercolor. And this watercolor painting is inspired by the relationship of the Catskill Mountains and Hudson River, which enfold the town of Saugerties. The unique light and atmosphere is conveyed in the transparent medium flowing through cloud formations, forest, and water. This is the first piece of Angela's in the show, and then there is a second landscape piece, which is a little stormier, called A Storm Passes. Okay, next we did Judy. We've got a piece by Margaret Still. This is called Dickinson Elderly Manor. It's 2020. This is oil on paper. I have had a number of Margaret's works in the shows before. I'm a big fan of Margaret's work. We next have two pieces by Annie Test. Both of them are raviolis. This is silver ravioli. It's fabric, fiber fill, and vinyl frame. It's 4x4, and they're both framed really nicely. And with their silver with her raviolis it's a 3D soft fabric sculpture enclosed in a frame that hangs. It is a part of a series of works inspired by the varying shapes, textures, and colors of the inner and outer structures of ravioli. I began this series in 2019, and it continues to grow. Both of these were available at the gallery. They were made in 2020. Her soft sculptures revisit and reimagine familiar and unfamiliar objects. And then the second piece that she has is a raspberry ravioli. Okay. Next, we have, we're going some more fabric work. There's two pieces by Kay Velas Turan. This is Brooklyn Bridge number 9. It's mixed media fiber. She says, my mixed media tactile pieces are derived from my interest in life around us in general particular. Shapes, colors, reflections, and the effects of shadow and light are how I see the world. I employ graphic forms. I refine the core of my subject and omit all unessential elements to uncover its underlying character. I apply different textile design techniques to my fabrics using textile dyes and paints. My creative process becomes a dialogue between actual images and the result I want to express. Let me bring up her second piece here. while I'm reading about it. The second one is New York City Water Tower, number 3. I employ surface design and mixed media techniques such as screen printing, painting, discharging, photo transfer, stitching, and embellishing into and onto my surfaces. So these are the 2 pieces by Kay Velez-Turan. Next, we have 2 photographs by J.D. Weiss. J.D. is a really wonderful photographer in Woodstock. This is called Pastel Morning. It's 12 by 12. JD uses a medium format 2 1/4 film, and it's each piece is printed individually, and it's on archival pigment print on panel. So that was Pastel Morning, and then the second one by JD is called Baywatch. I have a large selection of work by JD Weiss on artsy.net. If you'd like, have a look. JD does some really, really wonderful landscape work. Next, we have Betsy Wilson. Betsy, did I see you here? No? Betsy lives in Malden. This is a really, really adorable piece. It's really small, and it's been having some problems photographing, but it's all made out of various papers. This is called The Bouquet. The little piece comes from a few tissue paper, thin cocktail napkins, and some odd bits of paper. Whimsical in this beautiful frame. It's warm and lovely. Okay, now we have 2 pieces by Rudy Wilder Guidi. Or 1 piece, I'm sorry. It's another piece called Pastel Morning. And it's Ronnie. I'm sorry, I said Rudy. Ronnie, are you here? No? This is called Pastel Morning. It's watercolor. Ronnie lives in Woodstock, New York. Pastel Morning depicts tall meadow grasses against a morning sky. It utilizes the wet on wet technique of watercolor painting. The addition of salt in the foreground creates texture as well as a little wild in the grasses, and naturally includes the beautiful pastel colors of the season. And then our last pieces are by Mimi Young. These are both acrylic and graphite on a cradle panel. Mimi lives in Olive Bridge, New York. This first piece is called Doily. I mostly tune in to an object that forms a relationship with other random objects. My paintings aren't these direct relationships, but are the impressions and tensions they create for me. So this is Doily, and then Mimi's second piece is called Tuesday, and this is 12 by 9 1/4. So that is that is the Petite show this year. Apologies again for the technical difficulties that I've been having. It is the season for giving. Gift of art is a gift of the heart. I'm offering free shipping in the continental United States on artsy.net for any of the works in the Petite show. The show will be up on the walls through December 26th. I'm taking a little break in January, but you have a whole month left to come see the show. I can guarantee that you'll find something for yourself that you'll love and something for someone else. There are an additional 75 pieces on artsy.net that aren't in the gallery. So have a look. Artsy.net, again, Emerge Gallery NY. You can view the works from this show, previous shows. There's some online exclusives. And if you can, please come into the gallery. Most of the work here needs to be seen in person. I'm a little bit of a purist maybe, because I love looking at work online, but it's nothing like coming in and seeing it in person. And like I said, a lot of these really deserve to be seen in person. It just, the beauty of them just is not conveyed on the internet. So that's it. Everyone have a really wonderful holiday season. Again, we're offering free shipping. You can have a look at any of the other exhibits as well. All of the work is archived. There's a handful of online exclusives as well. So thanks everyone for joining me. Thanks for hanging in. with my sore throat and all of these technical difficulties, but I think it came out pretty good. So everyone have a really wonderful holiday. Have some good food, stay with some good friends, love your family, and everyone please be healthy. And we will see each other next time. Bye.